a signal of the stagnation of Africa, Africa's inability to stand up and be counted at the global community of nations, where power is exercised and the benefits of that power is taken to where the winners are for the benefit of their people. So the Europeans have coalesced into EU. You have the ASEAN nations. You have the NAFTA in North America and others. You have almost all the continental groups coalescing. Africa is the only balkanizing continent. And every day we continue to split our nations. It was Sudan. We split into South Sudan, North Sudan, or Sudan. And today even Sudan is now on the brink of disintegration. You have Khartoum and other places occupied by the what was the existing government. Then you have the RFS and others also controlling, I hear now, even more than 60% of the territory in Sudan. So the picture is getting worse. And if you look at it, my information is that there are even some African nations involved in supporting either side of the conflict, instead of working for a peaceful resolution of the matter and integrating them and making sure that all the territories are contiguous. It's not happening. I hear that there are even external countries supporting different sides. They have mentioned a number of countries that have come in. So I think that it's a sad commentary, and I've always said that in all this, the lead organization that should have taken this as a bounden duty unto itself to get a peaceful resolution of the matter is the AU. The AU is conspicuously missing. Its inactivity is loud, and it gets worse. Now, at the bottom of the matter is that millions of innocent civilians caught at the end of the conflict are those who are bearing the brunt of this war. I saw pictures of others of blessed people eating leaves. Strange leaves. I'm not even sure that some leaves, even when you see a goat eating leaf, even there are some leaves it will eat.
It will eat neem tree.
But in this, even neem tree people get the eaten to survive. Not even the most adventurous and troublesome goat will eat neem tree. But all these kinds of this was food for people. Tricks. How can this is the depth of inhumanity, beastly, unspeakable conduct, brutality meted out to your fellow human beings. And I've been saying this even for those of us who say we are Muslims and others. We should recognize that there is a day of reckoning before the Almighty Allah. And so if you mete out these kinds of unspeakable brutalities and atrocities to your people, you will be held to account one day. But beyond that, the regime of international order, peace and stability we have is not working. We allow the human rights and fundamental freedoms of millions of people to be trampled upon with reckless abandon, and nothing happens. Today they are making allegations that the RSF have been involved in atrocious human rights violations. There are allegations of, apart from even forcible displacement, killings, allegations of killings and maiming of civilians, rapes. They are talking of rapes of countless number of people. So all manner of things are happening in the Sudan. I've always said that, you see, if you are suffering in hell, blame death. If you didn't die in the first place, you will not get there. So this is the kind of thing we had from the time when some of us were speaking against the balkanization of the continent. We have attempts to break away to get Southern Sudan, and then from within Sudan, and even now, look at after the independence of Southern Sudan. Look at Southern Sudan today. Its individual territories and others now are balkanized. So there's further balkanization within the main balkanization we are talking about. So it's painting a almost hopeless picture for Africa. And so I shudder to think that if we don't really get the requisite leadership, one of the biggest problems in Africa today is leadership. In the days of the Osagyefo and the Patrice Lumumba and all those other founding fathers of Africa, their commitment to get a continental unity of this continent, so that Africa, featuring the richest continent and also harboring the poorest of the poor, will be a thing of the past. Because at the end of the day, your ability to control your resources, bless, is the answer. The struggles that we are seeing all over this world, the big power, it is in the interest of the northern countries. I'm talking of the metropolitan, the industrialized countries. It is in their interest to have this turmoil and balkanization in Africa, so that while we are busy fighting among ourselves, they'll be mobilizing to collect our resources. It's like saying, when you are praying, close your eyes. You close your eyes. Mugabe said it, that when they say we should close our eyes, we close our eyes. And when we returned, we had the Bible and they took the land. So this is what is happening to Africa. And it is important that I think that the AU must take the front banner and champion the peaceful and amicable resolution of conflicts. The AU has a peace and conciliation committee. What is it doing? How much has it exerted efforts to ensure that they bring all the warring parties to the table, to get them to, even if, for instance, to form an interim government represented by all the various factions, so that they can work towards eventual elections for the country to return to stable constitutional order. These are things that we expect the AU to be doing. Unfortunately, it is more of a talking shop. They don't walk the talk.
Yep. To
make sure that they spearhead the peace, order, stability, and development of the African continent. And so I feel very, very sad that these things are continuing and we don't work. And for me, I continue to hammer it. I will say it time with that number, that the panacea to Africa's woes lies in the consummation of a continental African unity, a continental African government, a coalescence of African nations into a monolithic whole, where Africa's supreme interest, that is the liberation of our people from poverty, to enjoy the wealth of the status of Africa as the richest continent, so that their plight will end. All these struggles are about resources, and I'm sure that once we control our resources, I can assure you that we'll have a better life, a better and more dignified life for our people.